I was chasing drugs, and now I'm chasing championships again. And like people are wanting to me to represent their brand as a person. Now like that's the person that I've grown into be from that hopeless, homeless drug addict. So this is what you have now today. Um, and it's still like so humbling, bro.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Front Porch Chronicles. Today's guest is someone a lot of you know as Baby Yoda from Power Slap. He is Bryan Scambler. First off, bro, thank you. I looked at the rankings this morning. You jumped up to number 2 in the rankings. But one of the things is a lot of people, your last match, everybody's talking about, and not because of the knockout or a crazy finish, but how it all went down. What happened?
I mean, so I flinched on the first one. We all saw that. I'll admit it. Like, it was my first time taking a slap, But the second one, he said that he hurt his arm from hitting me from the flinch. I mean, it was going to be a club either way. Whatever, it is what it
Yeah.
is. The second one was another club, but I stared him straight in the eyes for that one, and then I pointed at him after. Uh, when he was getting in defensive position, he wouldn't give me his chin at all, like at all. Um, like I don't care like how it went in other matches. Like I'm in that match, right?
Yeah.
So he refused. He was like, I'm not putting my chin out there. And then he was disqualified and walked off. So whatever happens, he said that he broke his arm. Um, hope he heals up, bro. But this isn't the sport for you, you
Yeah.
know.
When did you realize he wasn't continuing? Were you like, okay, at first he was just pitching the temper tantrum, as they say? Like, what was going through your head?
When he like when I saw him go, I'm not doing it like this, and then he put the thing down, the little wand that we hold,
Yeah.
and it was just from there. I was like, dude, I won. That's when I did the backflip, and then the backflip prematurely. I apologize for that, guys, but I was excited. I was pissed off in the moment, but then at the end of the day, like I still won, you know,
Yeah.
and I did. It's the first time it's ever happened in Power Slap history. So
Yeah, it was crazy. I was super confused. Like, I was like, okay, what is he doing? Because at first, I didn't know the rules of Power Slap, which we'll kind of get into some misconceptions about a little bit later. But like, I didn't know until I came with Jackie and like, I saw like you have to put your chin out and there's a certain stance and all of these things. Um, so like I thought at first he was just trying to prove a point or trying to argue the fact, but I never in a million years thought he was just gonna walk off like that. It was
me either, bro. Like that's wild to me, dude. We both signed on the same dotted line. Like we know what we're getting into. Like look at these. Look at like Robert Trujillo, dude. Like I bet you if it was against Robert Trujillo, he wouldn't have walked off the stage, or maybe he would have, bro. Like I don't know, man. Like he probably would have. I don't know.
I think once I think people have a point where they just don't want to do something anymore. And instead of just manning up and saying, I don't want to do this anymore, I think they look for reasons to not do it. It's kind of like those fights where you see guys and you're like, this guy doesn't want to be in here anymore. And he's just looking for any reason to tap out or whatever the case may be. But it was definitely crazy.
Well, I mean, if he's looking for that option, like he could have won after the first strike. He
Yeah.
would have won if he
Well,
didn't
I
continue.
think it's easy when you're gonna win on the first strike, but when you know you got to get slapped back, and bro, you've been put baptizing people with with your slaps. I ain't gonna lie to you. Look, when I came and I saw, I was like, dude, there's no. A friend of mine asked me, they were like, hey, would you ever? And I'm coming off of a brain injury, but dude, even if I was not coming off a brain injury, dude, the impact of those slaps, bro, there's no way. So I mean, I kind of see his point of not wanting to get that smoke, but definitely I agree with you. Shouldn't have signed on the dotted line. You're up to number 2 in the rankings now. How does that feel?
I mean, it feels good that my hard work is showing and I'm climbing the ranks, but I'm not going to be satisfied until I have that C, the letter, numbers anymore. I want letters. I'm chasing
Yeah.
championships. So
Yeah, that's people get caught up in the numbers, but like you could tell, like you're determined, like to get that belt, and that's all that really matters. I think a lot of people think they understand Power Slap, or they don't, and they think it's crazy because they've watched a few clips online. What is the biggest misconception that you see with Power Slap?
um that that when we're doing this, it's there's a lot more that goes into like actually slapping somebody. One, to be able to generate the power, to generate the speed, to generate the follow suit, all with not being able to pivot or step. Like traditional boxing, you have that pivot. You got to pivot, turn your hip over, generate that power. Well, we have to figure out how to do that without turning our hip over. There's weight classes, and yeah, we're getting hit in the face unprotected, right? But at the same time, like we're building up all of our stabilizer muscles. We're building up our necks. We're building up our jaws. We're doing concussion protocols. We're using red light therapy. We're using supplements for our brains. Like these are all things that professional athletes do, right? I mean, for me, I can speak for myself and the people that I surround myself with. We train as professional athletes, like 2, 3 times a day. You know what I mean? Good diets, um, and we conduct ourselves like professional athletes because we're working for the biggest organization in the world. Um, I can't speak for everybody in the organization, but I can speak for myself and the people that I surround myself with, like Pono, Chief, Hunter, uh, the who else? It's a lot of the Northmen. I think we're all trying to move forward, right, in a positive
Yeah.
way.
Do you
So
think it's more mental than or physical?
everything in life is 80 to 90% mental, dude. All there is, that's all it is, bro. Like once you get past that fear
Yeah.
of the what if, all of your hopes and dreams are right there, dude.
Yeah.
So
What do you think is more harder, waiting or the impact?
waiting. Impact's not that bad, bro. Well, I mean, at least not yet. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know that if I fight Rob next or whoever I fight next, it's gonna be a war. It's only two other people ahead of me. So
What would completely surprise people if they spent one day backstage with you guys?
everything that goes into this, like everything that goes into it, the big emotions, the rises and falls of emotions in the middle of matches where you drop somebody and they get back up, and you're like, well, crap. But it's a really way different than it is watching it on TV, watching it on a computer screen. It's all excitement. It's electric, and it's a great time, especially when you have good people around you.
True story. Like when I came again, I was completely mind blown. Like when me and Jackie were talking about it, I was like, I don't really understand. She was like, well, just come see. And like I instantly fell in love. For me, it wasn't so much that I fell in love with Power Slap, it was the people. It was like you, Pono, like the people, Jackie, like the people that I met were professional, they were athletes, but bigger than that, they were just good-hearted people who wanted to be and do better. And for me, I would sign me on the dotted line. Instantly became a fan of Power Slap. And I agree. There's a lot of misconceptions. And like I tell people, they're like, when I told people I went, they were like, "Oh my God, why would you go?" I'm like, dude, they're like athletes. Like there's USADA testing. There's workouts. Like these aren't just like people that are jumping off the couch and are going out there and testing out their pimp hand to see how hard they can slap somebody. Like these are actual athletes that are going out there and putting themselves on the line.
We all have to make weight. We all get drug tested. Like the same drug test requirements that are for the MMA, for UFC, we have the same ones. We don't get tested as often, but we still get tested. We still have to do that whole process. We still have to make weight. We still have to show up. We still have to perform.
A lot of people know Baby Yoda. They know Brian the Fighter. Um, I want to know a little bit more about Brian before Power Slap. Take it all the way back. Who was Brian growing up?
So I was a little rambunctious kid. Started wrestling when I was 4 years old. My mom got me into wrestling. Grew up in San Diego. Uh, Went to Hilltop High School. Wrestled there all 4 years. Was a three-time CIF finalist, two-time champ, and couple-time All-American in Greco in high school, and Sambo, and then beach wrestling. And then I ended up going to Dana College straight out of high school, wrestling under Steve Costanzo. Wrestled 141s for Dana College. I was on the team with Benson Henderson. We wrestled on the same team. Um, Ended up uh, hurting my shoulder and moving back to California after a year and a half, almost 2 years essentially. Um, and Was doing some just coaching high school wrestling, doing some wildland firefighting, doing some wrestling camps, and I was at one of Ken Chirto's camps. And GCU head coach at the time, LaHaye, was there, and I went through. We were just wrestling with the lineup, and still had it. So signed on with GCU, wrestled there for 2 years. Went to the Olympic trials qualifier in '08, took second. Was coaching at the MMA lab. Uh, and then because Benson asked me, when he moved to Arizona. He asked me, he was like, "Hey man, can you help me out with some wrestling stuff?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." So I just ended up coaching on wrestling, teaching over at the MMA lab for a little bit. And that's when I got into drinking. Like, well, I was already drinking, but I got into taking prescription pain meds for my shoulder. And it just sent me down the dark, dark hole. Um, so from about 2013, end of 2013, um, I was homeless on the streets doing drugs. Uh, and I had a son in 2011. I'm sorry, 2011, 2013. I'm ridiculous
Yeah.
right now. Sorry, January 2013. And then I I chose drugs over my family, dude, and it's how much of a bind it had on me. I ended up being addicted to meth and heroin for a few years. Ended up catching some felonies from it, um, possession charges, and then some fraud charges at the end. The very last time I got arrested, um, I was arrested and I got blessed. I didn't end up going to prison. I got what's called DTAP, which is drug treatment alternative to
Yeah.
prison. Um, I went to rehab for 90 days after being in jail for a few months. Went to a halfway house, worked my program, and I've been clean since June 1st, 2017.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I do use medical marijuana, but um, it helps with the pain. I've had a lot of surgeries, dude. I've had a lot of surgeries.
What
I
do you
ended
think
my
originally took you down that path?
To be honest, dude, it was the pain meds they were giving me for my shoulder and all my injuries, dude. Like wrestling for a long time puts a toll on your body, but at the same time, it also keeps your body good. So, like I have a fake hip. I have had 4 shoulder surgeries on my right shoulder. I need a knee replacement in my right knee eventually. Like, but we still do it, and
when you when did you know that you had a problem?
Mm, when I was buying pills off the street instead of or trying to doctor shop. But that's when you know you got a problem, bro. Like when you're blowing through blowing through 180 oxycodones in 5 days, 10 days. That's ridiculous, bro. That's you got a problem.
And so did that lead into heavier drugs?
Heroin, man, couldn't go to the doctors anymore. Burned all those bridges. And then I used meth to stay awake to go get stuff to get my heroin. It was just a vicious cycle, dude. And it's a vicious cycle. Um, and then when I got clean, and I didn't use any of the Suboxone or anything like that. I just got clean cold turkey in jail. Just worked out, got bigger, and I was like, I'm never gonna do this again, and I'm gonna win a world championship. Um, got out of jail, got clean, got through all my rehab and stuff. 2018, I won the first world championship in jiu-jitsu, IBJJF.
Congrats. What is it that really changed or pulled you out of that spiral?
The nudge from the judge, dude, and then it was just a choice that I didn't want to go back down that road again. And I had really cool probation officers. Like they kept motivating me. They didn't put up with any of my shit, any of my bullshit lies. I don't know if we can cuss on the show. I apologize if I
It's
am.
all good. It's all good. It's all good. No judgment.
Uh, but they like it's real. They wouldn't put up with it, and they believed in me when I didn't want to believe in myself. And yeah, so
How did your family react seeing you go through that? How were
well, I mean, my mom's always been in my corner. She did push me aside, like not push me aside, but like she stepped away, like as rightfully so, um, for a little while. But when I finally did, like it devastated my family, bro. Like my pops passed when I was in my active addiction. I was in jail when I found out my pops passed.
man?
Yeah, like what kind of a life is that, bro?
Yeah.
It's not a life that I'm ever willing to go back to. And I haven't. I haven't had any negative police contact. I haven't used any other substances, dude. So it's just a choice that you have to make every day, or you get to make every day to continue to better yourself. And I'm doing that, and I'm going to continue to do that.
Kudos to you, bro. That mad respect because once we start going down a path, it's really hard to pick ourselves up and dust ourselves off and change who we are. Um, and so for you to have the strength and the courage to do that's a lot, man. Because we can get stuck. A lot of times we get stuck in the things that we did and how we hurt people, and we can get stuck in that mindset of sitting in that instead of saying, hey, you know what? And not that you want a kudo, but like it's one of those things that like we look at the negative side of things, and that's like the way the devil wants us to look at it. He wants us to look at it from a like, oh, but you hurt all these people and oh, you did all of these things, instead of saying, hey, I picked myself up, I dusted myself off, and I'm being and doing better every day, and that takes a lot.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Do you think that struggle creates people, or do you think it reveals them?
I think it's how you embrace the struggle is what is the outcome. Either reveal who you truly are, like you're saying, or
Yeah,
it'll reveal who's not right in your life. You know.
yeah.
Um, but I embrace the struggle. I embrace the grind. I embrace the suck because life's hard, but you get to choose your hard. Um, and I choose my hards every day.
Who are you when nobody's watching? What is it that you like to do outside of power slap or working out? What do you enjoy to do?
I love teaching, man. I love teaching, and I love helping people, inspire them to do. what their dreams are, to chase their dreams, right?
Yeah.
But coaching and teaching wrestling,
Yeah.
bro, that's my passion, dude. I left coaching at the University of Arizona. I was helping them get their club team started back again so they can be NC2A established sport at the University of Arizona to pursue
Yeah.
this power slap career. Um, but I still get to go back sometimes, not to the university, but to schools and like out here in Bakersfield. I went out to the Drillers Wrestling Club a couple times with my son when he was out here visiting, and I got an open invitation to come back with my son. It's how you conduct yourself and the way that you present yourself. And yes, my accolades do speak for themselves when it comes to wrestling. But I have a passion for teaching, man. I do.
I've noticed that the people that have been through the shit, that have been through shit, it's like this thing that they love to pull other people out of it. I know for me, I look at my life and the chaos that I was in and all the shit that I've been through. And like people are like, oh, well, you're so open about your story. And it's like, because if my story can help somebody not go down that same path, it, it it's all worth it. Do you feel the same way? Like you have to go through some shit to be the giver that you are.
Absolutely, man, because you know what it's like to have everything taken from you. And then when you're at that bottom level, the people that you're with, they share. Like
Yeah.
one hand helps the other. Like that's how my circle is. Like Pono, Jackie, Marissa, everybody, like Summer, my girl, like Hunter, everybody. They all come out to the fights. We go to theirs. Like we were just at Jackie's,
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Jackie's come to every one of our fights. Like it's an amazing experience to have those people in your life, dude, and that helps you and guides you and inspires you.
Yeah. Just good hearted people. And one of the things that I found is like you have to be protective of that because when people see that you're good-hearted, it's easy for people to try to gravitate towards that and taint. One of the things that I've noticed with the group, Pono, Jackie, you, is like it's good-hearted people, but it's like they're also smart enough not to let toxic energy within that circle. And I was telling Jackie this like after her fight, I was like telling her how much she motivated me and like how grateful I was for her friendship. And it's kind of full circle with all of you guys. Like it's just good to have that iron sharpens iron community. And it's important, especially when you've been through some things and you can confide in people and you can talk to people and you don't have to put on these masks or pretend like you haven't been through some shit. Like being
Mhm.
vulnerable and saying, hey, I've been through some shit, but hey, look at where I am now.
Well, yeah, man. Like when I got clean, like that goes back to like what you do when you get clean, right? What you do with your life, how you do it, right? So when I got clean, I went and I did my training, and I won the world championships. While I was doing that, I was working for Excel Mechanical doing plumbing, and I was like, dude, I don't want to work outside anymore. It sucks. Arizona's hot, bro.
Yeah.
So, uh, I ended up getting my peer support certification through Community Bridges, working at Community Bridges, which is a crisis center out there and rehab and all that in Tucson and all the surrounding uh, Arizona,
Yeah.
some Arizona cities. But I worked there, got my behavioral health technician certification through them as well. And then I was like, you know what? I want to do more. So I went and I applied for my level one fingerprint clearance card through the Arizona Department of Public Safety. I got denied first because of my felonies and things like that, but I appealed it and ended up they granted it to me, and I got a job at the Crisis Response Center as a behavioral health technician, which is like involuntary psych, voluntary psych, drug rehab for kids, adults, dementia, court order treatment, things like that. So I worked there for 3 years and ended up working my way up to the lead BHT position for a little while. And then left that position to go back to CBI. and I went back to CBI as an operations supervisor. So helping the people that I was those people that needed the homeless shelter. I didn't know those services were around when I was getting clean or when I was using drugs. I didn't know
Yeah.
about any of those, and I got to be a part of helping saving some lives. And that was enough for me. That's enough for me, is helping people. Um,
And it helps them, I'm sure, knowing that you've been through those same things, because it's like whenever you know that somebody else has been through the same thing, it's easier to be more open and more transparent, because when you're homeless, like you don't want to tell people you're homeless, like you don't want to like say that, but like if somebody else has been through the same thing, it makes it easier to kind of go into that.
yeah,
You know, I noticed something before on your social media, before athlete, before coach, you put father. Why is that?
because I have one son, you know, and
Yeah,
I may not be like there with him. He's with his mom, like every day, or and things take me apart from him.
yeah.
Like I moved to Bakersfield, uh, but that's that's my son, um, and I missed a large part of his life, and I'm still missing some of it, but I'm doing everything I can not to miss as much. But I want him to be better than me in every aspect of life.
The way you said that with that pride and like that feeling, like that was so like touching of the heart. Like you could feel that you truly, like a lot of people say like, oh, this is it. You could tell you felt that. What changed you since becoming a dad?
Well, I mean, I was so wrapped up in doing drugs and stuff at the beginning of his life. I didn't care about anything else. And now that I'm clean, I've been clean for a while, and his mom has been very supportive of my
Yeah,
sobriety, of all of this, and me building my life back up through this last 9 years. You know, it hasn't been the easiest, um, and that's nobody else's fault. Well, it is what it is.
yeah,
But uh I get to like I can call her and be like, "Hey, does he have school? Can I have him?" And yes, she never says no unless it interferes with school or something that she has pre-planned already. She's awesome. And then I have Summer, my girlfriend. She loves that little dude. He loves her. And I have a great support system with that too. Like they have a good work. Like they get along. I don't have any negative stuff with Casey. She's a great mom, and she's raising a good boy. Hey, he's he is he's better than me in a lot of ways, man. Like he's a smart kid. He wrestles, does jujitsu, plays the violin, plays the guitar now, does crypto security. Like he's National Honor Junior High Honor Roll Society. Like the kid's so smart, dude. And
yeah.
I didn't have a lot of that doing that for him. That was his mom. And I commend her for that. Now I get to be a part of that, more involved part.
And you're teaching him something, whether you know it or not, that is major, right? It's the comeback story. It's the when life knocks you down, not to be cliche with the Rocky, but when life knocks you down, it's about getting up, right? And there's a lot of people that don't get up. There's a lot of people who ruminate and sit in that self pity, and they continue on these paths of destruction. You're teaching him something that is major, going to be major to him, is when life knocks you down, you're getting back up, and not just getting back up, but like you're getting back up and you're doing big time things, like you're helping people, you're putting yourself on bigger stages, and you're doing the right things and the right way. So that's huge. That's
Thank you, sir.
huge. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. What qualities do you admire within your friends?
Genuine. They have to be genuine, dude. Like I don't have any friends that are bullshit.
Yeah.
Uh, you have to be genuine and honest. Honest, and you always have to be like. It's not always a take relationship. Like I'm not always just taking you for your time. I'm not always just taking you for what you can do for me. None of my friends are what you can do for me friends, you know?
That's major. I tell people all the time, if I can't bring value to you, I can't even almost, I don't want to say I don't want to be your friend or that I don't want to do business, but like if I can't bring you something, then for me, it makes it difficult because I feel like at that point you're taken and you really can't put anything in. And so that's a huge thing for me. And I've had people that I'm like, hey, look, business deals, and people that come to me and I'm like, hey, they want me to do, and I'm like, I can't bring enough value to you within this that I would even feel comfortable being a part of this because I don't want to reap the rewards off of something that somebody else is doing. I know you love me. I know you want good intentions for me, but for me, I can't do it. Um, What's one opinion you've completely changed your mind on over the years?
Ah, that life gets easier the more money you have. Um, and that you will always have time to do something later.
Both of those truly resonate. I think people feel like money brings happiness. I think it brings comfortability because you can pay your bills, and that's a good thing.
It
But
brings materialistic comfort.
yes, yes, but it will not bring you happiness. I know some of the richest people that I know are the most unhappy within their life that you'll know. And then part two is, like you said, don't keep putting things off. I just had a girl I worked with close to 10 years, good friend of mine, had just turned 42 years old, passed away a couple of weeks ago. No health problems, no nothing. Um, and at her Remembrance of Life Friday, I thought to myself, and it's really been ruminating in what you just said of like really focusing on not putting things off, stepping into like doing what I love and not waiting for the perfect time, the perfect moment, the perfect whatever, and just stepping into that. Um, so the both of those resonate. What's something you still feel like you're healing from?
Um, Not being there for my son, you know, like I don't think I'll ever get fully over that or fully forgive myself for that.
Yeah.
And the people that I hurt when I was in my addiction, like I forgive myself, and I've tried to make some amends with some people, but I mean it's all on their court whether they want to accept those or not. Um, but at the end of the day, like I missed a lot of my son's life, dude, chasing a drug, man. Yeah, I'm here now. Actually flying back tomorrow morning to go get the rest of my stuff from Phoenix and Tucson and go see him for a couple days and then
Sweet.
drive back.
I'm a couple hours drive. I'm in OC. So let me know once you get there and get situated. I'll come up there and take a trip.
To
Uh,
Bakersfield?
yeah, of course.
What's it?
Um, Yeah, let me know. What's one thing that you wish more men talked about?
How they really fucking feel, dude. Like with people that they trust. Like it's not cool that all we do is laugh and celebrate the good times. Those hard times that you go through by yourself because you've been told that it's not manly, or oh, it's a burden, or you don't want to feel like a burden. Bro, if you're my friend, there is no burdens. If you're my friend, you can call me, you know? You can call me. If I don't answer, leave a message, I'll call you back. If it's important, blow my fucking phone up, you know? Um and just making time for yourself when it comes for that, you know? Like we're always trying to be of service to other people in one way, shape, or form. When can we be of service to ourselves? You know,
That's a major one. You can't help others if you can't help yourself
you can't fully help others if you can't.
in any capacity. You have to be at peace with yourself in order to do that.
Mm.
What's one life lesson uh, that you had to be taught the hard way?
That you never truly fail in life. They're all just bumps on the road to success.
Bro, that was perfect. I don't think I could have written the answer better. That was a mic drop moment. Wow. What are you most proud of that nobody really sees?
My my son, I don't post him that much. You know,
Yeah,
it's my little dude, bro. Like he's like
yeah.
a splitting image of me. Like walks like me, talks like me. He's a little bow-legged, like little jack dude. Like he's ripped, bro. He's only 13, dude.
Little baby Yoda.
He is, dude. He gave me the name. He named me Baby Yoda, dude. Like, and I will forever be grateful for that.
Yeah,
And then just like I help out. I like when I was in Arizona, they have a program for at home homeschooled like autistic kids and homeschooled students, and I had the opportunity. I was a homeschool tutor, physical education teacher there for
yeah.
that program, where it hires you can go and hire tutors, right? Tutors, teachers, to teach a subject, and they go into the home, and none of the money comes out of the family's pocket. None of it. It all comes
Oh,
from
that's
the government.
cool.
Yeah. So like I got the opportunity to go and help a couple of students in their homes, teaching them PE, teaching them how to better because a lot of the ones that I worked with have outbursts. So
Yeah,
like they're like violent outbursts.
yeah,
And I learned how to work with that at community at the Connections Health Solutions, the crisis response center,
yeah,
because they had a kids program there. There was a lot of autistic kids, violent, you know, nonverbal things like that. None of the ones that I worked with at home were nonverbal or anything like that, but they did have some explosive tendencies to them sometimes. Um, but that side of me, like this, I like to work with. I like to work. I like to be a teacher, bro.
yeah.
You know, like you can see it at Power Slap. Like I help out whoever needs help, dude. And it's like it burns me sometimes. You know, like it burns me.
You're a good solid guy. That's why I said like we're a lot alike. It's like you have to be careful to be protective of that energy, and you can tell that you're learning that, but you definitely have to
Yeah,
be protective of that energy because people will take advantage of that, and you have such a pure, good heart about you. Um, Protect that. Um, Imagine it's 20 years from now, and your son's grown um, and he finds this episode and watches it. What's one thing that you hope that he understands about his dad after watching this conversation?
that even though dad's gone all the time, you're never off his mind. Mhm. And that hard work and dedication to learning new things will always help you in a positive way. You know, pushing through the hard times. That's what his dad has always done.
He's gonna be so proud when he watches this, and he knows. I can tell. Uh, he's gonna be so proud of the man that you are and the man that you become. You've worked really hard, and this isn't about some fighting shit, but this is on some personal man, grown man stuff. You've worked really hard to heal yourself and to be and do better. And so I knew a little bit about you, but honestly, after this episode, I'm ready to ride or die with you in whatever capacity that is.
Thank you,
You,
bro.
yeah, no problem. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come on here. I think that people knew Baby Yoda from Power Slap, but they got to know today the Bryan. And I, I think your story is going to change and help a lot of people be and do better. And, you know, I'm truly honored and grateful not only to have had you on here, but to call myself a friend of yours. Thank you so much, bro, for coming on.
Man, thank you so much for having me and not just talking about power slap. I mean, as much as I love the sport and I love what I'm doing and what I'm gaining from it, I'm
Yeah.
grateful and I like just talking, bro. Talking about what we're doing outside of that to help inspire people or build ourselves up.
And I
So
think
I like
that's,
that.
yeah, I think that's what's going to help change. Like we both said, we want to help people. I think this stuff and having guys that fight and guys that do whatever and knowing that they've been through some shit and that they pick themselves up and, it's okay to have feelings, emotions, and go through stuff. This is the type of stuff that helps spark change.
Yeah, man. Like I was a homeless, hopeless drug addict, for years. And now people are betting on me to win a fight, and my name is on Circa Sports. You know what I mean? Like at the
Yeah.
Circa Hotel, dude. Like I pictured 2 times now. My name's been up there, bro. How wild is that, dude? Like I still cry when I get stuff like packages. Like it's crazy to me. Like I was chasing drugs, and now I'm chasing championships again. And like people are wanting to me to represent their brand as a person. Now like that's the person that I've grown into be, from that hopeless homeless drug addict. So this is what you have now today. um and it's still like so humbling, bro. And like even like with you, man, like your friendship first and foremost I
Yeah.
appreciate and I'm grateful for. We only met a couple times in person, but in those times we really connected a little bit, and I'm grateful for that. And it's just humbling, dude. Like it's amazing feeling like you asked me to come on your show.
Yeah,
Like
it's isn't it always funny that people that have been through some shit, like we have this internal, like almost sixth sense of people that we can read and we can tell when people are full of shit or when they're genuine. And I knew from the first time that I met you and I dapped you up with Jackie when we brought you your mouthpiece. I knew right then I could tell immediately within that conversation, like this is somebody who I want to be alive. And so I appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you too, bro.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can make it to whenever my next fight is, and
I fly in
hopefully,
October 7th. Hopefully you get a fight towards the end of the year, and
yeah,
I'll definitely be there.
Absolutely, bro. Hopefully, man. It'd be good
All
to see
right,
you
brother.
again.
Take it easy. I'll see you soon.
Bye.